This is actually a joint talk, really. My partner in crime is Freddie Brown, who can't be here today. He's a clinical psychologist who works with autistic children, mainly specializing in the application of relational frame theory techniques and acceptance and commitment therapies. So while I'm here, we're actually about to start writing a project proposal, and kind of this coincided at the same time you're having this meeting. So I just wanted to see if anybody's interested in joining us. This would be a good opportunity. This is actually a brand new project. In terms of AI, so we want to apply AI to clinical psychology. We're really talking here about large language models, which is your things like ChatGPT, although it's a lot more nuanced than that, and potentially relational machine learning and even robot-enhanced therapies. And in the clinical psychology, as I said, the acceptance commitment therapy, so it should say therapy, not theory, and relational frame theory, with long-term, hopefully, applications to autism therapy. To give me some credibility here, what I've done in the past is two projects. So one of them, we took an OWL robot, an off-the-shelf robot, and we had a PhD student program it, and it could actually deliver RFT-based scripts, which are carefully controlled conversations to basically enhance the formation of so-called deictic frames in young children, which is their perspective-taking skills and theory of mind and understanding the perspectives of themselves and others. And we successfully did that. It has a limited number of scripts that it could do, but the robot could. It could identify the table, the objects on the table, the subject, what pictures are on the cards, their animals and foods, and then we try and teach the child relations, transitivity, reflexivity, so on. So that was kind of our first working together with Freddie, and that is Freddie there, supervising this test session, basically. This was a neurotypical child, just a test to show that we could technologically do this. I currently have a student working on application of large language models to basically acceptance commitment therapy, where you have these 6 variables that clinicians are interested in tracking. And we basically have different large language models all running in parallel. Each one of them, these 6, studying these key variables as the conversation is developing and proposing what to say to the child. Then we have like a coordinator agent. And you have to be careful like what large language model you use, because they have different context windows, different prompting windows, different capabilities. And my student happens to be an expert in all of that stuff and how to fine tune it and how to do, various tricks of the trade. So those are the 2 things that we worked on. But what we concluded from that, what we want to do is something slightly different now. We're going to stop working with robots for a bit. Robots, even when they're standing still, they're using energy, their motors are working, they overheat, their batteries run out, and literally they do shut down in the middle of a session. So we've had examples like that. It's technically hard, and maybe the real challenges are more in the cognition behind it. So we want to stop robotic development temporarily, and also dealing with patients directly because of too many ethical hurdles that we have to go through. And what we've come up with instead is let's work with, sorry, this is a bit small text, let's work with therapists and produce a training tool for therapists. So basically, so as Freddie wrote some of this here, it's a myth that experienced therapists produce better outcomes. There have been studies on this. Actually, the effectiveness of therapists decreases as they get more experience, although their confidence increases. And so there are various reasons for this. Clients at the beginning, they're not tracking the real clinical variables. They're how well do I feel and how good do I feel, rather than is meaningful change happening. And also they're only the patients, so they can't really give feedback to the therapist. And supervision sessions help, but there's limitations to those. So we kind of want to kind of leverage what we've been doing so far. Sorry, let me go back. So make these LLMs, large language models, trained on clinical transcripts. And currently the model, it can actually generate transcripts, but we wanted to basically analyze transcripts of conversations that therapists have had with patients. And this is going to be in the context of focus ACT. They're very interesting paradigm. You just have a 15-minute session and you focus therapist on making one meaningful change for the subject. This could be done over the phone potentially. And then the tool would provide feedback. It would effectively look at the therapist's report of what's happened and make its own report and then be able to compare the two. So Yeah, so if you're interested in becoming involved in that, either on the AI side or on the evaluation side, or the clinical deployment, or there's many angles to consider. But Freddie and I are going to go ahead and do this. If you're interested, come see me at lunch or email me, or Freddie if you can find him as well. Okay, thank you very much.